alone be this time we stand together and take back what has always deserved to be ours and ours alone. Let us rise up for abortion rights for the women and girls all around the country.
Woo! Yeah, tell it. Yeah. Tell the truth. That's it.
Mr. Tremor's here.
My name is Travis Morales with the group Rise Up for Abortion Rights here in New York. And I want to welcome everyone on International Women's Day. I don't know if you saw in the news, but 2,000 women were marching in Islamabad in defiance of a ban on protests, facing police batons, beating them. But they were standing up, along with millions of women around the world. And I want to read a statement from Rise Up for Abortion Rights. It's entitled, Rise Up for Abortion Rights Condemns the Capitulation of Walgreens. Walgreens' decision not to carry legally protected abortion medication in Kansas is a craven capitulation of the Christian fascist war on women. Yes. At the same time that a federal judge in Texas is poised to pull one of the most common and safe abortion medications, mifepristone, off the market nationwide. Silence in the face of this complicity in the enslavement of women. Join us in the streets on International Women's Day to fight for legal abortion on demand and without apology everywhere. That was a quotation from Samsara Taylor. The statement continues, Rise Up for Abortion Rights condemns the capitulation of Walgreens to the Christian fascist assault on women's lives by removing legally protected medication abortion from 21 states. This is an outrageous and dangerous precedent. We call on all to join in protest this International Women's Day, Wednesday, March 8th, to demand legal abortion on demand and without apology, because forced motherhood equals female enslavement. When the Supreme Court overturned women's fundamental right to abortion last year, they claimed they would leave the matter up to the states. This was never legitimate, because a woman's right to decide for herself when and whether to have a child is fundamental to her very humanity. Denying this right anywhere is an assault on women's status as full human beings everywhere. Worse, as Rise Up for Abortion Rights warned from our very founding, it was never the intent of the Christian fascists to simply leave abortion rights up to the states. The people of Kansas voted last summer to retain the right to abortion in their state constitution, and the Attorney General simply overrode them with Walgreens' complicity on completely invalid and unlawful grounds. The refusal of Walgreens to carry this abortion medication is a violent assault on women's lives and rights, which must be protested and reversed. It must also serve as a further wake-up call to all who care about the lives and rights of women and the future of justice as a whole. As we said in our founding statement, quote, the violent subjugation of half of society must not be accommodated, excused, downplayed, or surrendered to. It must be stopped. If we leave this to Congress, the courts, and state legislatures, and do not fill the streets with people determined to stop this, then there is virtually no hope for stopping this assault. But if we in our multitudes stand up in uncompromising defiance, then there is a possibility, not a certainty, but a real possibility that we can beat back this assault and begin to change the whole political dynamic in this country. Our only way forward and our best way forward is to resist. We call on everyone who cares about the future of women and girls, the rights of LGBTQ people, and justice overall to join us in the streets on this International Women's Day, Wednesday, March 8th, to declare legal abortion on demand without apology everywhere. Forced motherhood equals female enslavement. That was a statement from Rise Up for Abortion Rights.
Come on and join the fight. Abortion is a human right. Come on and join the fight. Abortion is a human right. Come on and join the fight. Abortion is a human right. Come on and join the fight. Abortion is a human right. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate. Not the church, not the state. Women must decide their fate.
Not the church.
Not the state. Women must decide their fate.
Not the church. You always stop right at the time I start.
Isabel from Rise Up for Abortion Rights.
Thanks, Christina! Alright, guys. With Easter and Passover coming up, you might end up talking to a relative who's feeling a little centrist on this issue of choice. Who's saying, yeah, 21 states will get an abortion. Yeah, Walgreens isn't going to sell you your mifepristone. But do you really need to be so alarmist? Do you need to be yelling in the streets? Do you need to start a revolution? The answer is yes. If for some reason the idea of autonomy, the idea of people owning their own bodies is not large enough to them to raise their concern, to raise their alarms, you need to tell them that women are going to die. Walgreens banning the abortion pill in their pharmacies sets a dangerous precedent. The private companies can now interfere with your right to choice without even the state governments getting involved. And as we've seen over the past year and a half, the state governments do not have any problem getting involved. The past 9 months, excuse me. The following is adopted from a speech by Dr. Heather Costello, an emergency medicine physician. I am here today to share a medical perspective. This violation of our most basic rights means that pregnant people will die. And with laws and current fascist ideology growing, physicians will be very limited in how they can help. Here are 6 ways the many abortion restrictions will kill our friends, our sisters, our mothers, and our daughters. Suicide. Deaths from suicide are one of the leading causes of death for pregnant women in the United States because an unwanted pregnancy is devastating and a common trigger for these attempts. And before overturning Roe v. Wade, it was already increasing, especially among women of color and women with untreated mental illnesses. Suicide is already the second leading cause of death of women ages 25 to 34. We cannot underestimate how many people and how many families this could hurt. Domestic violence. Tell your centrist, complacent relatives that pregnant women in the United States die by homicide more often than they die from pregnancy-related complications. Murder committed by a partner is a leading cause of death for pregnant and postpartum women. Over 75% are murdered in the first trimester, which is what these Republicans, these fascists, are going after our ability to decide during the first trimester right now. Women are going to die from ectopic pregnancies. A ruptured ectopic pregnancy is when a pregnancy implants the fertilized egg implants somewhere other than the uterus. This is a condition in the ER where all hands are on deck and things must move very fast to save the life of the person who's pregnant. This pregnancy can rupture a fallopian tube, rupture a uterine artery, and you can bleed into your pelvis and die. This can be a life-threatening condition. The ectopic pregnancy, however, is never viable to the fetus. The fetus can't grow or become a baby anywhere other than the uterus, but because it can have a heartbeat, its value is somehow more important than your own life. Your heartbeat doesn't count as much as the heartbeat of a fetus that can never even be a baby, as if that ever mattered. Miscarriage. Often, when you miscarry a pregnancy, the life-saving treatment to stop you from bleeding out or getting sepsis is a D&C, dilation and curettage. But now physicians and nurses are being told that this procedure is the same as performing an abortion in the eyes of the law. They can be charged with murder in some states. So when a woman is hemorrhaging or getting an infection from a miscarriage, they are blocked and delayed from performing this simple procedure. The fetus that is miscarrying is not viable, but again, because it has a heartbeat, it's already more important than my life and than your life and than all of our friends' lives. Many Catholic hospitals have actually been preventing physicians from performing this procedure for years. They often have to wait until you're literally almost dead to start trying to save your life, and by then it might be too late. 1 in 1,000 women every year will be diagnosed with cancer during her pregnancy. When treated early, you often have a really good prognosis, but if you have to wait until you give birth to start your treatment, you're in a lot of trouble. That could get very bad. Women with desired pregnancies are already often forced to decide between aborting their fetus or starting their chemotherapy, and now even women with undesired fetuses will be forced to carry this fetus to term, even as their own life is slowly draining away. Again, because it has a heartbeat, all of a sudden, it is more important than your own life. They will not have a choice. They will. People are gonna die. Okay, thanks. Septic abortions. When faced with no choice and no local resources, we already know that women will take matters into their own hands. They will attempt what is known as back alley abortions, which can take many forms and often causes you to bleed out and die or become septic and later die. This was commonplace before Roe v. Wade, before 1973, and it is still common wherever in the world there is no safe and legal abortion. The doctors who witnessed and tried to help these women pre-Roe v. Wade are mostly either retired or dead. There is no institutional or cultural memory of what happened back then. Women who survived a botched or unsafe abortion will be charged with murder. Physicians who participate will be charged with murder. And history is about to repeat itself. Who knows how many thousands of deaths these new decisions will cause. And here's Christina.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, let me give you one of these. We need to be all around the world. The question of infanticide, what's happening in Iran, rape, we need to stand up all over the world. This is not like a New York thing,
All right, I'm going to chant out a phrase and you're just going to repeat right after me. Ready? Let's go. Legal abortion. Legal abortion. Nationwide now. Nationwide now. All right. Legal abortion. Legal abortion. Nationwide now. Nationwide now. Legal abortion. Legal abortion. Nationwide now. Nationwide now. Legal abortion. Legal abortion. Nationwide now. Nationwide now. All right. Keep your rosaries off our ovaries. Keep your rosaries off our ovaries. Keep your rosaries off our ovaries. Keep your ovaries off our ovaries. Keep your rosaries off our ovaries. very special speaker coming up. Give it up for Issa.
Today is International Women's Day, but it is not a day of celebration. It is a day to get out on the streets, to commemorate and fight for all the sisters we've lost due to misogyny. We wear green to symbolize the fight for abortion rights that are continuously going to be taken away by the government in this country if we don't stand up and fight. We wear purple for the fight against femicides. Violence against women is growing, especially in Latin American countries, and we can't allow this to continue. In Mexico, 10 women a day are murdered by their partners or men close to them. We can't allow for one more sister to be taken. We stand with the women of the world, and we won't back down until we are all free and have justice. No woman is free until we are all free. Hoy es el Día Internacional de la Mujer, pero no es un día de celebración. Es un día de luchar en las calles por las hermanas que hemos perdido. Nos vestimos de verde para simbolizar la lucha a favor de los derechos al aborto legal y seguro. Nos vestimos de morado para representar la lucha contra femicidios. La violencia contra las mujeres sigue erradicándose, especialmente en Latinoamérica. En México, 10 mujeres al día son asesinadas por el hecho de ser mujeres. Hoy y siempre estaremos paradas, luchando para todas las mujeres del mundo, porque ninguna es libre hasta que todas seamos libres.
¿Hablas español? ¿Lo sigues conmigo? ¿O cualquier otra?
Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más. Ni una más, ni una más, ni una asesinada más.
They got strong voices on top of the mic.
Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up. Rise up for abortion, rights for abortion, rights rise up.
So our next speaker is Molly. Molly is one of the RevComs, and she's a follower, the revolutionary leader Bob Avakian, and a volunteer at Revolution Books. So give it up for Molly.
Okay, so what does it mean to be a woman in America today on this International Women's Day 2023? Last March, in this country, women had a constitutional right to decide whether to have an abortion or not. This March, it's gone. Almost 60% of the abortions in this country are currently done using safe drugs. And today that option is in the hands of a fascist judge who has the power to declare this drug illegal across the entire country. Think of the hundreds of thousands of women's lives which which are and will be risked, shattered, and potentially lost. Real women, real girls, real people. In the face of this fascist assault, there are some who say to even talk about the oppression of women is transphobic and exclusionary. No, the reality is that the fascists will tell you straight up that these attacks are to control women, force them back into their place, which they say is subordinate to men in society, as the Bible says it should be. They also have a special hell for trans and LGBT people and youth, and these attacks must be opposed, but that's not what the attacks on abortion are about. Today, the sexual exploitation of women, sexual slavery, prostitution, pornography, the sex industry has become a huge worldwide hellhole into which millions and millions of women and young girls are being thrust. Think of the tens of millions of women and girls around the planet who are forced to live only to gratify some men's twisted desires, facing shame, rejection by their families, betrayed by those they trusted, physical mutilation, and again, real women, real girls, real people. In the face of this horrific reality, there are some who want you to think that sex work is agency. No. The truth is that it is oppression and the degradation of women by its very nature. In the last few years, women around the world have responded with rage and fury against their oppression. In the streets of Argentina and Colombia, Mexico, Iran, women and men have fought with courage and determination against the oppression of women, this misogynist and hateful religious laws for the right for abortion, against the disappearance and murder of women. Last year in the U.S., right here in Union Square, Rise Up for Abortion Rights led tens of thousands of mainly young women to take to the streets to fight to keep the right to abortion. This is very important resistance. These upsurges show the potential for these horrors to jolt people, awaken them to dare to lift their heads, to ask why, and consider the possibility, to dream that we don't have to live this way. It has created a moment where the revolution that we so urgently need is more possible. We cannot afford to squander this historic possibility. The world as it is a horror, and these attacks are not going away. They will only get worse, much worse, unless we actually make that revolution. We need to overthrow this system, to defeat it and seize state power, where that new state power unleashes people to get rid of the hatred of women, white supremacy, and all oppression. A state power that's based on the needs of humanity and the planet, not profit and the needs of an imperialist empire. This new state power and society is crystallized in the Constitution. The Constitution for a new socialist republic of North America, authored by Malcolm X. It is a whole section on how the oppression of women would be eliminated, dug out by its roots. Read it and see if you've even ever thought of a society that could be as liberating as this. So you need to get with the revolution. There's a show on YouTube every Thursday, Revolution Nothing Less, 8 p.m. Watch it. On the same YouTube channel, watch the interviews of Bob Avakian. And come Saturday, this Saturday, March 11th, to Revolution Books for a defiant, revolutionary International Women's Day celebration at Revolution Books at 132nd Street and Malcolm X Boulevard in Harlem. And when we come together and act on International Women's Day, we challenge others and we change ourselves. We stand up with those fighting for liberation around the world and bring the day when we can make revolution here in the U.S. closer. Unleash the fury of women as a mighty force for revolution. Capitalism and patriarchy. You can't end one without ending the other. Forced motherhood is female enslavement. Break the chains. Unleash the fury of women as a mighty force for revolution. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah! Woo!
Give it up for Daniela from the Women's Collective. Hello, everybody. I'm Daniela. My collective is called Woman Collective. We are a bunch of friends creating safe spaces for Latino women and queer POC people where we can have opportunities to grow up and to be free and to dance. First of all, I feel that it's crazy that we have to still fight for basic human rights. And that being said, I think that it's our job as a woman to keep fighting, and also men's job to try to change this fucking world. We together can change this system. It's both of us. Like, women and men can change together this world. Now, I feel that if we start getting together more often as women, creating spaces, building up opportunities for ourselves, we can probably show to everybody that we can do it for ourselves. So I hope that this keeps happening, that more women can get together, more women can help each other, and we can be friends and just like leader in our communities. We're gonna sing this song in Spanish. It's about how we need to stop this system and to make patriarchy fall. Okay. Ahora que estamos juntas, ahora que sí nos ven, abajo el patriarcado se va a caer, se va a caer. Ahora que estamos juntas, ahora que sí nos ven, ahora el patriarcado se va a caer, se va a caer. Arriba el feminismo que va a vencer, que va a vencer. ¡Aborto legal! Thank you.
sin miedo pedimos justicia, gritamos por cada desaparecida, que resuene fuerte, nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Soy todo lo incendio, yo todo lo rompo, si un día algún fulano me apaga los ojos, ya todo me calla, ya todo me sobra, si tocan a una, respondemos todas. Claudia, soy Esther y soy Teresa. Soy Ingrid, soy Fabiola y soy Valeria. Soy la niña que subiste por la fuerza. Soy la madre que ahora llora por sus muertas. Y soy esa que te hará pagar las cuentas.
¡Justicia, justicia!
Por todas las compas marchando en Reforma, por todas las morras odiando en Sonora, por las comandantas luchando por Chiapas, por todas las madres buscando en Tijuana. Estamos sin miedo, pedimos justicia, gritamos por cada desaparecida, que resuene fuerte, nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Que caiga con fuerza el feminicida. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del amor. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del amor.
Bravo, bravo.
All right, everybody. Thanks for sticking with us for this long, but we're not done just yet. See, all of us, we're gonna need to round up. We're gonna go over to that Walgreens because they have refused to sell the abortion pill. So we're gonna go ahead, protest over to them. So everybody, let's round up and let's get this started.